I would love to comment today something that happened during the day with you all because I
Sure.
feel a little bit strange. It's the first time for me that I have the feeling of, how can I describe this? Different timelines in one day. I had today the sensation. I don't know, it's like my reality is splitting off, like in uh, wow, it's the first time that I put that into words, but I have the head like this today. It's like I see a timeline of my older self and the timeline for my newer self. So I met people that I think we don't resonate anymore. And it was really like a energetic rejection. And I just had the feeling, okay, that's the older timeline and without judgment. It's not better, not worse. It's just I have the feeling that I'm splitting off. I right now, I before we tune in to the readings, I need to ground a little bit because I feel a little bit split off, if that makes sense. I don't know if you had already sensations like that in the last weeks, maybe months. I would love to hear about that. Hi, Lenny.
I'd love to speak to that. Can you hear me okay on this microphone?
Oh, I don't know how long you
Yeah,
have
we got you.
listened to.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I was also feeling the grounding coming in for this as well today because the way it's been being shown to me is it's exactly along the lines with what you said about kind of a little bit of friction is what I felt when you said it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And to me, what it looks like is allowing those parts of us to have the space they need to complete their journey and come back full circle to where we are holding the example of where we're calling those parts back into. And it's a little bit paradoxical because we talk about not doing loops and stuff, but if in the infinite realm of our creatorship, we are all of those different fractals kind of finishing out the loops. And so to me, the deeper lesson is the trust, the allow, the give it space and time. And just holding that resonance within allows, all of those parts to harmonize in their own like perfectly planned path because we made one for all of them. And that's the part that breaks our brain a little bit because we're like, how can I possibly comprehend all of that? But that to me, that's just where I see like that's the game we're playing with ourselves and coming back home. And so I definitely want to honor that grounding. So if everybody's okay, I'm in that space a little bit. I'd love to just drop us in. Are we good with that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think
Yep.
so. If we got any
Yep.
additional shares, we can move into those too. I want everybody to feel that there's space for your shares so
Yeah,
that
I
you're
love
heard and
that,
seen.
Lenny. Thank you very much. I love that part that you said. Sorry, Glenn, I didn't want to interrupt you. Sorry. Okay.
No, you're good. Go ahead. I wanted to make sure that you were complete and that before we actually
Yeah,
drop in.
just a little thing towards Lenny. I like that part, Lenny, that you said just accepting those parts that feel a little bit like friction and allow them to come back in whole again. Although when I'm speaking, that doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense. So I understand you. Yeah, cool.
Part of the paradox is what I
Yeah,
just heard.
absolutely. So we know that's true when it's paradoxical. Yeah, right. Cool.
Thank you so much for that beautiful depth of share. I'm witnessing you, and your perfect path. And the field The resonance of the collective heart field. Ooh, the collective golden heart that we're all coming home to. Is inviting us to deepen our breath. Deepen our awareness. Deepen our hearts. Deepening into our roots through our breath and allowing our bodies to feel that connection. Allowing all of those frequencies to harmonize in the perfect alignment wherever, whenever, however they choose to be in their sovereignty. I'm hearing this is how we embody our infinite sovereignty. Trusting that the field is already fully aligned because it is protected, and it is safe to harmonize at this level. Dropping our awareness all the way to the core. Remembering also that this is a co-creation with our planetary sphere. And so, deepening that awareness into her loving embrace. I'm seeing like tandem skydivers, like I'm not sure. But it has to do with like full trust. Like you don't you don't do something like that unless you trust the process, you trust the mechanics, you trust your gear, you trust the person you're flying with. There's lots of layers coming in as we deepen that trust to show us all of the layers of how we are perfectly aligned in this process. It's like a safety sovereignty check, and it will come through for you however is most aligned and resonant for you personally. And the reminder is that the deeper we soften into that breath within ourselves, and the more that we allow our planetary partner to reciprocate that depth, the depth of wisdom, the depth of breath, the depth of love. It's fully embraced in deeply deeply resonating love. There's like an honor to it as well, and a recognition and a gratitude for our service in this as well. All of the allies that we are co-creating this alignment path with as well, including the ancestors, the dragons, the fairies. They're reminding us that there is a strength in our collective collaboration. And that just because we might believe in fairies and dragons doesn't make very fairy, fluffy stuff. We are solid. And we are very aligned to the highest wisdom that there is. And if you're listening to my voice right now, you have aligned with this frequency on some level. And so there's also an invitation to allow all of the parts of you that resonate with this frequency, with this deeper love, to fully come online. To be seen, it is safe to see. It is safe to see fully. We've earned our place, I've heard. Through the what some might perceive as infinite loops of time and space. They're honoring us for completing the game. And there's also a level of compassion that we have embodied. I'm hearing we wouldn't be at this level of the game if we haven't embodied the compassion that it requires to allow those parts of us that aren't yet ready, the space that they need to be their whole selves. And as we do and deepen that compassion, they will continue to show us more layers and levels of the beauty that is us, that is within us, that is us. Because this is us. We are it. And time is now. But we gave ourselves a lot of lessons to learn in that process of embodiment. So I also see those other layers of us honoring us for the space to be free, to explore and learn freely. But it's creating like this beam of light between those representatives and you, where you are currently right now in your body, in your this now awareness. So this beam of light is an additional a gift. It's not exactly an anchor point, but just allow that to resonate however it aligns for you. It's like it's almost like closing a circuit. I see like a filament in a light bulb. Like those parts of us are on one side and we're on the other, and we're both holding resonance for each other for the full spectrum alignment to come in and unfold organically, naturally, as it's ready, and honoring the readiness and all the consent checks along the way. And as we deepen into this space, I feel it deepening into my gut. I'm seeing like a disco ball drop, like New Year's Eve kind of celebration. There's like a golden disco ball that's like dropping all the way down the column, all the way to the core. As we harmonize with these other layers and levels of ourselves through all of the allies that are walking this path with us. We are preparing to land in the nest, the golden nest. I just heard. So allow yourself to feel at home. At home in your body, at home in your nervous system, and all of the rest and rejuvenation along the way, because that's needed for all. So just breathing into this space of golden light at the core of all that is. Allow yourself to experience that frequency of welcome home. It is so glad to see you. There's I see lots of like birds landing. They're all coming into like it's like a big home. And the more that we dance and play and anchor in joy, the more that this frequency resonates, amplifies, radiates, and calls them in. So just allowing also our creative genius inner children out to play. Allowing them to take a seat in front of you as we co-create this beautiful harmony together. Allowing them to lead the way. Because in the game of joy, they'll never lead you astray. And our human brains, our cute little egos, sometimes have a hard time giving up the driver's seat, taking a back seat. But those parts of us are also reassuring us that it is safe to trust in them, because trusting in them is just another reflection of trusting in us more deeply. So, a moment of deep gratitude and sacred silence as we anchor in this frequency. And for now, I am complete. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Did anyone else have a share? Annette, did you have anything else that came through? Cass, Aurora, Vincent, anything that came up during that you wanted to share? There was quite a bit there, so just feel free to unmute, because we're going to drop in here to our stream of consciousness. For today is the 17th of March, 2026. For all the record keepers, high five your record keeper. Yeah, I love that you brought that up, Annette, because that actually came up on another call. I think it was Thursday. Janvier had shared, or somebody had shared with us, similar but different frequency, and that's something that we've all been dealing with. It's definitely a way shower frequency. If you're more sensitive, you're able to kind of pick up on the subtleties, and it's for me at the time, I think I had last described it as it's a bit confusing at first, especially if it's somebody who's really close to you. So I'm talking like partners, close friends, family members. It's really confusing because you're in each other's space. You're like, how can we be vibrationally moving the opposite direction from one another? That's what it feels like. The momentum changes. You're no longer attracting or magnetizing. You're actually, now you're moving in a different direction. It's not good or bad, like you had shared, and that is going to continue throughout this year, and it's going to become much more loud for the collective, I think. And some of that I actually ended up feeling in my body, which was really confusing to me, because I'm like, ooh, why am I feeling this dissonance? Or why were we previously in resonance, but now we're not as resonant as before? Or sometimes it manifests itself in different ways, like through text messages, or like, I don't know, they'll send you like a song, and you're like, what is this? What are they trying to tell me with this song? Whereas before, like, you were just like besties, you know what I mean? So yeah, just holding space for all the different and I love that you brought it up, because I feel like those of us who are experiencing it or have experienced it or are listening to the playback today are going to be able to hold space and share that with our friends, and we're going to be able to kind of get that message out. And all of the different ways are really important, because sometimes, like for me, I have to hear it a couple different ways before it clicks into place. You know what I mean? It's like that gear, it's got the little teeth on it, and then I hear it for the third time from like this friend, or I get on this call, and the fourth time that I hear it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I finally get it. I got my cute little masculine brain out of the way, and I finally heard it, and maybe it presents itself as like a frequency or a vibration, or maybe it comes through in like an object. I'm just giving people different ways to kind of conceptualize that, because the stream of consciousness, which we are the Deep Channeling Council, is here to allow us to expand. And I wrote down in my notebook for today, I wrote down expanding into your higher dimensional awareness. So I really love that you brought that through, and I think that we'll talk about maybe some crystalline architecture today. Winnie can share with us, because I'd like to hear from other people. We're talking about maybe like the golden spine coming through. There was a couple other things that, yeah, Lenny, do you want to share before we drop in? I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something that we had talked about. That a couple frequencies a step forward for today.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we got you. You're good.
Well, I think it'll come through in the stream, but what I did want to say is thank you for calling out the linear date for the record, because I don't know if the whole world celebrates St. Patrick's Day, but I'm commemorating with a St. Patty's shake from the Golden Arches. The Golden Arches, Golden Arcs. I don't know. So there's something about golden, not exactly looping, because the loops land. The loops land and reboot or something like that. But anyway, so I just wanted to, my inner child wanted to share my shake with y'all. And I'm not sure how I feel about the flavor. It's a little bit interesting. So we're harmonizing taste buds too, maybe? I don't know. That's a new one to me.
Yeah, just
So
on the subject of the golden, we had talked about like golden spine, something else too.
share with us in the comments or in the chat if you're drinking or eating anything right now, because we're harmonizing a lot across a wide spectrum and it's all relevant. We were talking about golden spine, golden, I don't know. It'll come through if it's meant to. Nervous system has been a big thing. Golden heart frequency. There's something about the crystalline heart upgrading into like harmonized metallic frequency, as I've been seeing it lately. So I think we're good to drop in and let's see what comes through.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so feel free to start getting your movement. I'm going to grab my crystals. If you got some crystals, light a candle. Aurora mentioned specifically the flame candle. Trail mix. Okay, she's got St. Patty's Day trail mix. That's interesting. Yeah, I wasn't. Somebody mentioned St. Patty's Day, and I was like, Golden Vaults on the radio. Okay, perfect. Getting some movement in, stretching. We talk about opening, allowing, making room in the spine too. If you want to do your seated cat-cow, cactus the arms, pretend like you're squeezing a quarter right in between your shoulder blades. You can go up and back. That's a heart opener, chest opener, heart opener. Just beginning to settle in, finding some movement, finding your breath. You can close your eyes, dim the lights if you need to, if you feel. Yeah, just taking a couple breaths on your own here. In through the mouth or nose for a 4 count. Holding for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sigh, buzzer hum. Letting something go, making a sound. Oh. Do that on your own. I'm getting like nape of the neck, top of the spine, in between the shoulder blades, releasing that tension. You need to bring your awareness up to that tension spot. That's typically helpful. You can breathe into anything that you're feeling if you need to rub. Welcoming in our helpers, guides, guardians, allies, councils that you are working with. Feel free to call them in now. You can just speak, sing, hum, buzz, tone. Welcoming in the higher dimensional deep channeling council that assists us as well too. Your personal counsel, your higher self, highest purest essence, or pure consciousness. Now is a good space to start to bring forward with your awareness, your personal intention for our session today. Or intentions as a powerful quantum creator. Call those forward now. Starting to weave those, activate them with your breath. Or maybe choose an element. That just came through. You can choose an element, weave them into the element, brighten that element. Welcoming in the 5 elements: air, earth, water, fire, ether. Soul aspects that are aligned with your intentions and our collective intention for channeling today. Setting our collective intention that anything that comes through is for our highest and greatest good, free of all distortion, all illusion. No piggybacks. In alignment with the golden crystalline and above timelines and templates. Ooh, what happened to the music here? Fire it back up here. Starting to allow the area around you to come into your awareness, sending your awareness from your heart center up and out through the crown, soul star, expanding that awareness, giving yourself permission, welcoming in all of our inner children, the galactic children, any other children frequencies that you're working with as well too, to come with us on this fun adventure. And we can meet up together. If you need to use a portal, feel free to call that in. Okay, it looks like Lenny's going to be joining us through a portal in the element of water. You can use a swirling expanse as well of just frequency, but I want us to meet up together for our channeling session in our sun, the sun's radiance room. That is a calibrated space that is all your own, located inside the sun, but if you're much more comfortable, you can use your own space, like your personal sanctuary, or there's the tachyon chamber at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, which is I use sometimes. But feel free to go ahead and make your way there. There's the sun's radiance, the sun codes, getting yourself comfortable into your space. Your guides and helpers have come with us as well too. Just settling in. If you need to get any mission logs or updates, go ahead and take the time to do that now. All of those are available to you from our previous adventures, missions, expanses. In particular, the stream of consciousness, but yeah, acknowledging the reboot frequency. Absolutely. Welcome to the stream of consciousness. Our space is open. Together. Getting yourself comfy. Ooh. Feels like somebody has their dragons close. If that's you and you want to hop on, go for it. I was like, oh, they're right here. Feel free. We don't have to be together to channel at all. We can just meet up in the Sun's Radiance room. It's definitely helpful. And if you're one of those who is much more aligned to the field or much more aligned to the grids, that's very, very important for us. And I just want to affirm, confirm. And if there's anything coming through for you, this is 100% channeled, co-channeled. So feel free to just unmute at any point and share what's coming through for you. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of calibration to get connected, I invite you to work with either your personal counsel or the higher dimensional deep channeling counsel at this time. Your light language is also the most potent calibration and activation for yourself.
Well, if y'all have been on calls with me before, you know that I take my pings in the field real time. And I just wanted to witness the turquoise Tesla pulling into the Starbucks frequency, because there's something about, I don't know if you've ever noticed, I didn't until fairly recently. The Starbucks logo is like a mermaid. So it's almost like, oh, turquoise Tesla coming home too with us in a way. It's cute. Also, the ducks at the Quickie Quack car wash seem to be celebrating the St. Patrick's, because their little project, they have like it's a cute thing that they do where they have like a screen projector, and so they flash images on your car as you go, like, get washed, and it was really cute to see the ducks in the green shamrock lucky duck. Oh, the lucky duck frequency. That's super cute. Embodying the lucky ducks.
One of the things that are coming forward is we've been talking about some of the crystalline architecture, and including but not limited to, I just want to name some of this that we're working with: the crystalline heart, which is coming in, the golden spine, which I've been speaking to as, to me, it's a crystalline spine. There's something with the eyes, it's a little bit further out, but that's definitely been coming in too. And if it's helpful to you, if you are curious, what I was doing was I'm trying to figure out how to describe this space, but I sent my awareness out, and I found myself walking amongst what I'm viewing as like crystalline architecture. almost like a kid though. Imagine if you were a kid walking through a field of crystals. Super holographic, not of this world at all whatsoever. Higher dimensional, absolutely. And I was just kind of like, if you're walking through a field of flowers, like when you're a kid, and you would kind of go with your arms behind you, and you're just touching the crystals as you're walking by. And I was kind of doing that, but then also kind of like weaving that frequency out, almost like out as in like very oval shape, like part of an infinity, in through my 0 point, my center, which would be like the heart and just above the solar plexus, and then out again in the other side of the loop of the infinity symbol, and just kind of playing with that frequency.
I just want to state for the record that I've synchronistically found myself in a place in the field where it's like a lot of these like parts of us. So we talked earlier about the friction and the different kind of beautiful fractal reflections that are us. Like as we go through life, sometimes we forget about those. And so there's been a lot of opportunities lately for me to witness in the field. Oh yeah, I remember that version of myself. Oh yeah, I remember going to lunch at the Sunshine Cafe. And so there's just something about this. I'm dancing around the parts of myself that are harmonizing in the field as we go along, and so just witnessing that. There's like solar frequency in the field supporting. Same with like tree and flower frequency. I saw some really beautiful, like, are they cherry trees that have the really beautiful like pink blossoms? So like it's kind of springtime where I am, and things are in bloom, and like it's almost like that's the seasonal reboot, right? So something about being on track. Um, as we center ourselves, we remain in resonance. A lot of
Yeah,
throat clearing happening too.
I'm getting the ping too that I feel just if this is you that there's some curiosity about the crystalline architecture look that's anchoring in. So we're anchoring this for ourselves first, but also like for the collective as well. And there's some curiosity that I'm feeling just into the resonance of our call, that there's, and maybe it's somebody who's listening, but it feels like somebody that's within our grid and our field here about where we're at, how much has come in, what do I need to like expand into. So I just want to kind of acknowledge that, and encourage you that as we continue to build out this grid and this field together, if something's coming in, please share, because that allows others to kind of conceptualize and see in different ways. And I can see things in a certain way, but you may be feeling it another way. So I'd love to hear if any of that's coming in for you.
I've been getting a bit about energies, like, and the proper use of energies. Like, it started about last week sometime. I had Nagasaki and Hiroshima come in, and that was like one of the biggest misuses of energy that we've had it on our planet, because it took so many people's lives. And I was harmonizing, and I was bringing souls through like that were stuck in like oblivion, like they like had no idea what happened to themselves. So I was like bringing that in, but like also I've been getting like the architecture of the new energy is coming through, where that like we're using crystals and the the harmonics, the frequencies to start to create as we did in Atlantean times. Like, some of the stuff that got corrupted, like I feel like that's why I was getting the Nagasaki and the Hiroshima. Is like that just was a huge reminder to all of us of like the ultra corruption that we're trying to avoid. So like bringing through and allowing that energy just to like atomic blast through us, but into like as like it creates the mushroom cloud. Let's create that new mushroom cloud within our consciousness to the right use of energy, that like bringing that atomic energy, that like from a pinpoint of energy, that piece of material draws in the all of the energy it needed to expand. And as we like are coming into this new age where the energy is going to like they just can't stop that energy from coming in. Let's like I feel like there's this building that we need to do with like taking that like we see a lot of like things where people have plant ceremony journeys where they're seeing that atomic blast, but they're filling it with rainbows and birds and like things. I think that is just meant to re-trigger us to like, yeah, let's put the right energy into that. Let's bring that away from the people who are just playing out their last little bits of like corruption that they had to imagine from their time at the ending of Atlantis, like that we were, that's like, I feel like the atomic energy was the scientific way of doing dark magic in itself. And we need to like kind of, I'm not exactly sure where we need to play to make that flow through ourselves and not be that dark consciousness forms that like played out in Atlantis times. Like I know it is that we're like looking and we're finding things to play with. Like I'm I'm painting teal seats right now, like some old school chairs that are like teal. So like there's those these little synchronizations that we each are having is like the playtime that our multidimensional self is having with itself. And I feel like that energy is just like even before this call started was like, ooh, it's just like that moment before the Big Bang of like the release of pure imaginative thought is, like I feel like the things that are in the shadow can only think and see into the destruction of something, but they don't see, it doesn't see past the destruction into the new beginning of it. And I think that's where the light always comes in, is to see past the destruction in order to bring light to creation, because there's always more new and better creation after something has been chaotically disassembled, basically. And that's just, chaos is just another form of something that we don't truly understand as a law and an order that like all that is playing out. So I feel there's just something to that, and especially the color teal right now probably holds a super high frequency, and like vibrant rainbow colors. Like I'm just getting so many vibrant rainbow colors. Like everything that like is drawing me to it are very vibrant and life-giving. And I think that's what spring brings to us, is that like that promise of even the green is really a light shade when it starts to bloom and wake up itself, until it starts to like bring itself into summer where it's like, I'm really green now, like let's bring ourselves into the spring of our consciousness and create consciousness forms within ourselves that are life-giving, I guess, is something that is coming through.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot as you're talking about this because um I kind of go back to what you said last week about and we've talked about this a couple of times, but about us like we give ourselves away to these systems that are like keeping us stuck and we don't always see it. And so it's on a level, it's an invitation to expand our awareness. But on other levels, it's an invitation to deepen into our like deeply stored memories. Um, because I was shown something the other day that was like a template. It was like a collective template that we all tapped into in order to create the mechanics of this part of the game. Like what you said about the destruction and we can't always see past it. Like I think once we're ready to see past it, we do. And then that's where the wayshower frequency comes in, is like it's that opportunity to be a reminder of, well, wait, I thought that too for a time, but now I've seen this. And so what are your thoughts about this new information? And let's have a conversation about that. It's an opportunity to deepen our communication with one another as well as with the elements and the planet and nature and animals and all of that, because we all have gifts and codes for each other in a lot of that. And the template that I was shown was basically like I was shown a spinal column, and there were three primary like I don't know if you want to call it like sticky points or resistance point. It was like they were like anchors though, and it presented to me as like railroad spikes. It was almost as though this collective contract, um, in order to keep it in place, properly, or however you want to like verbiage on this, there were three primary spikes that were put into this, spinal column, this model that I was being shown. And there was one at the top of the spine, there was one at the bottom of the spine, and there was one in the heart. And I feel like what makes the most sense to me in this moment is that collectively we all took on that spike in our heart, but I feel like there's a level of like I don't know if mismatch is really the right way to say this, but like I think some of us took on the one at the top of the spine and some of us took on the one at the bottom of the spine. And so I don't think it's a one size fits all solution. I think it's up to our sovereignty deep into what feels most aligned, and maybe there's different reflections of all of it that applies to all of us, but we each chose like a different, maybe it's a different order in which the spikes were driven into whatever, however you want to like think about this, however it resonates for you. But I think it's very telling that as we're talking about this, you're working on a seat and I've been working on a set of glasses, and there's different layers of reflections of all of this. So I think it's part of the puzzle, it's part of the weave, and it's part of the um, unweaving that we're all collectively feeling into right now. So I think that was a beautiful share, and thank you for witnessing the reframing of the energy through like the quote unquote destruction. I've also heard people say like have reflections of like, well, I've seen this destruction and I've seen that destruction, and our programming inherently like connects it to time. It's like, oh, that must be what is coming. And there's like a fallacy about that. I think there's a technical term like in the writing world about whatever that talks about, but it's our opportunity. It's it's a choice point for all of our bits to figure out where their sovereignty lies in terms of if that's what they want to call in or if they want to be done with those loops. And we are witnessing the ability to call in something else and to kind of reprogram that story, rewrite the story, reframe the energy, choose your own adventure truly, deeply, completely, and literally imagine it and envision it. And that's how we embody it. So thank you for that beautiful share. For now, I'm complete.
Yes, so all the timeline all existed. So in the past, there are many, many timeline right now is all existed in the quantum field and among the many other destruction timeline. So right now we are just witnessing all the destruction timeline and closing this chapter. And for the new chapter, I think all the green, all the cards, all the energy is all come together as the new free energy is going to come out soon, which is also Tesla, not the car Tesla, but like the inventor. I think he is come from Venus, that Tesla. I think that technology is going to coming out soon. And so in the future, our car will all be different. We'll all use that free energy, no pollution energy. And this year, all the things is going to growing with vibrant color. So starting lots of desert already start blooming. So we just going to have all the new color and all the new species coming out soon. So I actually designed the data model part for the future environment, which is like full of the vibrant color and is all going to coming out. Is all going to unfolding very soon.
Nice. I want to kind of shift gears energetically. I love all of the shares, but I'm getting a message and I'm going to kind of drive for a little bit here energetically, acknowledging all of those different timelines, but shifting frequencies for us, moving much more into creation, much more play. I shared earlier about picturing your inner child kind of moving through this like field of holographic crystals, and I want to kind of get us back into all of our inner children playing together, and I felt like that anticipatory energy before your parents like let you run out onto the playground, or maybe even like when you've been playing for a while on the playground and you just didn't want to leave, right? You were just like, dude, I'm having so much fun. I made new friends. Like my parents would drag us off the playground when we were kids. Well, they didn't. We were 80s and early 90s kids, so we were they were much more forceful back then. But I want to kind of use that as an imagery for us to kind of play together. And what I was being shown is there is a message that's coming through. And I'm being shown that kind of like spiral staircase. It reminds me of, I don't know why, like Cinderella. Like it forms as you're walking up the spiral staircase, and it's very holographic, very colorful, like Vincent was sharing. But as each footprint, like if you're imagining yourself, or even do the Harry Potter thing if you need to use a different word picture, but it's very crystalline, very radiant, very white in what I'm seeing. And even if you're doing it from like the playground, but like you're walking up, and imagine I'm spiraling up through the density or dimension, and each footprint, as you walk up this spiral staircase, a stair forms energetically. And I'm just walking kind of like twirling myself up this little staircase, and I'm being told pretty loudly that there is a message. There's a message there that wants to come through for you. So if that is helpful, or if you're seeing something different, please feel free to share what's coming through for you.
Yeah, we've been talking about loops, and you hit the nail on the head that it is a spiral. And as we don't have to try to break any loop, because it's a spiral. We got to get out of like seeing things in 2 dimensions and seeing them in the at least 3rd dimension, and that it is a spiral. And it's a multidimensional spiral, which is like even more fun because that's very MC Escher. hey, let's run around on these stairs for a minute. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm upside down. You're right side up. Who is? who actually is right side up? I don't know. Yeah, that was fun.
That's cute. I'm hearing something about gauging like the rate of expansion with this. Like it's okay to be fast, it's okay to be slow, it's okay to just feel into whatever helps your nervous system feel the most peace and at ease because it's all there for us in the field. And I was seeing the spiral staircase light up in a whole new way just before you said that. And so it feels very aligned. It feels like we're obviously all doing this together, but I'm seeing like there's this video that's got it's got this guy that's got a trampoline kind of on his left and a case of stairs on the right, and he walks up a few stairs and he falls off onto the trampoline, and then he like bounces back up onto the stair, and like he does this kind of dance up and down these stairs with this kind of elasticity frequency. And I'm seeing all of us like kind of at a trampoline park in a way. It's like, remember that you're not doing this alone. We're bouncing off of each other, we're catching each other. It's like okay, do you remember being a kid and playing on trampolines? Like when I was a kid, they didn't have trampoline parks. That wasn't invented yet. And so I just can imagine myself like with my friends or loved ones or whoever going, catch me, and just like doing that free fall like trust thing. And so there's a lot of different like opportunities for like just playing through that process. So just a beautiful reminder to keep it light, keep it fun, gauge your readiness for speed and all of that. And just heard something about the keys are within you. So listening within is what that's telling me.
Yeah, I'm getting the like time is more malleable, like a spring in itself. That since it is going in and out as a spiral, but it also compresses and expands like a spring. And as it's expanded out as it like that means it's slower, but when it compresses, it goes faster or it seems faster, because like our rate of interpretation is closer to each circle in the spiral as it goes. But when we are allow ourselves to expand it, and it becomes a lot slower and flow like has a more harmonious flow, but it can be still like we can still tighten up the spiral to be going faster but have more harmony. I think that's something that's coming in, is that like finding that like um, the geometry of it to like get the expression that we need from time, like because like time isn't going to be what it was. We've come past that now.
Yeah, one thing that's coming through for the spiral staircase that I'm kind of giving you a little bit of an energetic word picture on. Um, what it's really interesting because they're showing me different ways to conceptualize this. I don't know why it comes through as like Cinderella for me in a way. It reminds me of when she climbed. Let's just imagine your inner child and you climb the spiral staircase energetically up through the density and the dimensions. And it reminds me of when she's like getting ready for the ball, where like the animals and the plants and the wind and the elements kind of come in, and she's getting dressed. Like there's these different things that were made for her, and they're like wrapping it around her. And that's what I'm seeing with the crystalline architecture, is as we climb this theoretical spiral staircase, and it doesn't need to be a staircase. Conceptualize whatever works best for you. There's soul aspects, star family, soul friends, or even one another. I felt like they were aspects of myself, but it could be one of us or somebody that you trust. And they're meeting you at these different levels, and they're allowing you to kind of remember and in a way put on your crystalline architecture. And maybe it's your crystalline heart, or maybe I get up to this level and it's my crystalline spine, or it's my golden spine. And as you're kind of climbing the spiral staircase and stopping and looking in the mirror and playing, and you got the music on, and you're working with the elements, and the animals come in, and they're just weaving and twirling around your body. That's hopefully that's helpful. So please let me know if you're seeing something else. Thank you.
I almost see like Rapunzel's tower when you say that, because it's like the way that I'm seeing the spiral staircase is kind of expanding. It's a bit more than just a staircase. It's, there's something about it being a building, and there's different like portals that you can check in with yourself, and that's part of like the sovereignty check. And I don't know, it's coming in layers, but I appreciate that reflection.
No, that's very similar to how I'm seeing it. There's different areas, and then there's a wardrobe here, and maybe I put this on, or maybe there's birds on this level, or I got animals on this one, and on this one I'm banging the drum. You know what I mean? It looks a little bit different for me, but I want you to conceptualize it as you're climbing into this crystalline architecture. Remembrance, really, is what it is.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but can you spotlight me for a minute? These sun codes want to come through.
Yeah, as those sun codes come through, like what I was getting is that like I think I've talked about it a couple times, is that like I'm using like my multidimensional self to explore certain things that are coming up, you know, like, and I'm seeing those like as spirals that are surrounding me and becoming more of a malleable time interaction, that like I'm having one of myself do something right now, and it's coming back to me in my own real time through the spiral. And I can just I can explore the shadow, I can explore the light, I expand myself off in a linear plane that is experiencing and exploring different avenues, but I'm able to, like, as the central consciousness, uh, gain the knowledge of that as like an experience. You know, like I see somebody who's having something go on, and like I can explore that in so many different ways. I can, you know, like feed them energy to go deeper into their like misery if they wanted to, you know, or I bring them light and experience that. And this is that a horizontal plane, but I'm also experiencing myself as not doing any of those things, but allowing them to be who they are, you know, but I'm getting the information from those spirals, and that as they come back into myself in the like the proper time frames, you know, and I'm finding that it's affecting how I see the choices that I need to make, um, be in more congruence with what source wants. You know, it's like, am I benefiting people? Am I benefiting my environment? Am I benefiting my family? Like, am I benefiting you by having this conversation? um, you know, and so that is one of the things that like I'm exploring in my multidimensional self right now, and I feel like these spirals, like now I'm seeing it, like they bounce in and out, and that's how like our time expands and slows down, is like which area of our spiral do we want to examine. And so I don't know if that made any sense, but it makes a lot of sense to me. And if you choose to do something like that, like I hope you have joy doing that. Thank you.
They show this too. I'm being shown back to this frequency of the spiral staircase is playing dress up with your inner child. That came through like very loudly. It's like let's switch roles and now let the inner child kind of step forward, and the inner child is playing dress up. He or she or they are playing dress up, and you're there kind of like weaving with your inner child in a way. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, very, very colorful and like just very loving. Curious if anybody else, I don't know if Annette or Cass or Aurora, if any of that is coming in for you, but like stepping into that play frequency with our inner child and like let's play dress up, but let's go vertical. You know, it's no longer like I'm gonna dress you up like you're a child. It's like putting on, you know, a robe or a scarf or like playing in the mirror. You know.
Yeah, what I get from it is to explore more, have fun, and so the for the even for the whole collective, different people are meant to explore different timeline. So uh let everything plays out on its own and just have fun and explore all the possibility. But I definitely like to dress up.
And I was saying that there is a message that's coming through. What I'm being told is like as we're playing dress up with either our inner child or ourselves in this frequency of like the staircase or what she was sharing, kind of like that expanded like tower. I'm kind of walking up this tower too. Each article of clothing is kind of like its own. That's the message. It's like a frequency. It's a representation essentially. Maybe you're not hearing something like in words, or maybe you're hearing it in music, or maybe you're feeling it as a sensation in the body. But you can kind of do these different little ways of playing with your higher consciousness as there's like a green orb right on Lenny's face on the screen. Um, like use each article of clothing or use the elements or use the little birds or whatever as like its own little cute little message, you know, and just kind of flow into that and be free with it. And I hope that's helpful.
Yeah, I like to collecting clothes pieces.
So that's actually really funny because when we were starting this stream, I was putting all of my trees of life that are made out of gemstones around me. And then I have all of this rainbow crystalline sound bowl, but it plays it feels very playful and just kind of like play around with trees and sounds, you know, music. I'm a Taurus, and so when I started doing the light language and getting all of this what is the word for it? The downloads, or you know, just like getting all of this collective consciousness. The main. I spoke to my guides and I spoke to myself, my higher self, that because I am a Taurus, so I need to meet myself in the middle. That I need everything to be grounded. Like I need all of the information to be grounded, and I need words. Like I need what do you say? Like so everything that we know, everything that we're getting. So what now? Like how do I apply that in my daily life, right? So all of the codes, all of the weaving. Um, I always tell myself because I work in a place where I get thousands of people every day from different parts of the world, you know, seeking reconnection with themselves, and I want to be able to communicate with everybody in like more tangible way. So it makes everything that is coming through right now for everybody makes all the sense in the world. And usually, all of this is actually it had happened on my week at work. Um, I made a little bit of I had to write it down a little bit just because everybody's, saying a lot of things. And I was like, oh yeah, and this one, yeah, and that one, and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, I need to write this down so I'm not all over the place. But so at work, like I sell trees of life and jewelries. So a lot of people are getting drawn to jade, a lot of aventurine. So a lot of heart healing, really. And when I connect everything, it's a lot of, yeah, you're right, like the inner child of like remembering the things that you love, the things that sparks your imagination, your spirit. But I'm always drawn to the citrine and the solar plexus singing bowl, which reminds of self-empowerment. So it's like reminding us of you create your own reality. So you whatever things that had happened, like the spiral that we are talking about, um, the distractions, or like in the physical, even like just a very simple form, like people being rude to you, or just like you're getting cut off in places, like maybe you're driving, or maybe how people are talking to you, like those small kind of yin and yang moment where there's small low vibrational encounter it's actually helping you to create something that you want, right? So I'm pretty sure this is like not new to anybody, everybody. So does the spiral that I'm getting is like, now that we are here, the timeline collapsing, like you are seeing, because in some part, like last night I was driving, I felt so much grief from the collective, but I know that it wasn't mine. And so what I did is, I empowered my solar plexus and I kind of send that to the whole collective because I feel like that's what everybody needs. So that's it's kind of like an alchemy of energies. So that's what I was getting more is like, work more on your solar plexus. I was playing the solar plexus singing bowl, and what came as a sound, like my coworker actually stopped and told me like play it again, and then we had to listen to it. It was the sound of the whales. And then I remember the past few days that I've been seeing a lot of whales and dolphins playing, like more like Lemurian um, timelines and energies. And yeah, so and then lately I was also getting, the healing the divine masculine because of all of these things. Like a lot of, I'm not saying it's all men that are, leaders, but a lot of like in history is like the wounded masculine. And I was like, okay, so what does that mean for me? And all I get is, because I have two boys, all I get is like that love. So my two boys lately are just always around me, hugging me and kissing me and telling me how much they appreciate
Thank you.
me, and just and it's healing some part of me in my heart as well, as a mother, and just showing them what true love is, and what, what being in your masculine really means. Growing up in a different environment, so our culture, like they always, I'm pretty sure it's not just me, but it's just to my personal experience. Um, the man should not be crying. You're a man. You should not be crying. You shouldn't be feeling pain and stuff like that, or anything like that. You hide it. But now that we are elevating and our consciousness are getting higher as a parent, that is something that I can, like integrate in this new crystalline body and this new crystalline relationships that we're creating. And today I was walking at the park actually, and there was ducks. Okay, there's crystal like light codes and stuff like that. But a couple months back, the green emerald dragon came to me, and I was trying to channel it, and all it gave me was the song of was it Celine Dion, "The Power of Love." And then today I was walking. It's crazy because the same song came. And then when we were starting the consciousness, the stream of consciousness, I started playing the singing bowl just so I can get ready. And it came again. So it was just more of like healing the heart, the power of love, but also like those people that we are saying that, we don't resonate with them anymore. We don't resonate with that, with what is that? The our projection or perception of them in a certain timeline, or but the the love that we all shared, it will. I'm not sure like how to really word it, but I feel like everybody gets what I'm trying to say here. But there is a line in that song that keeps on repeating, and I just want to share it. It's the part where it says, we're heading for something I've never been. Sometimes I am frightened, but I'm ready to learn the power of love. And then that was like super strong. And yeah, so I just want to share, those are the ones that came for me. And one more thing I want to share before, because I'm going to do a little light language because it's been coming up. But I was getting a lot of people that remember the fire at LA and the Lahaina in Hawaii. So I got a lot of people actually from that are healing from that. So they came to me in the store and they would tell me the story. So I kind of saw the theme. So it's the renewal, it's the healing. It's yeah, the spring, the renewal of our. I mean, taking back your power, pretty much owning your power, creating your own reality, and just healing again and renewing again. And remember that, everything is it's a spiral. Everything, nothing stays the same. Everything, the fire. This I'm not saying this in a very what do you call this? I cannot find my words right now because I think the light language trying to come in. So anyway, so I'm just gonna say leave it right there. So yeah, taking back our powers, creating our own realities. And when you stay in your power and you stay in your heart, in your heart center, in your inner child, that's how you serve more. When you want to serve, you stay in your own power and you stay in your own truth, and that's how you serve more. Raya kiata shita anayata kiata raitu na heya tita rakara. Yana lura kinati lahaina shekara atataraya se Yeshua. Sanatito ko oshaan ateteya turu uzuzuzuzu shakatekatekatekatekatekatekatekatekaraya sushu. Pipipiro shuno kada ana. Shukurunare etanas iroro tushutu noroya ina horaya tutu kurushutu. Tukushunu tukuru, you have come. You have come, you have arrived. There is no point in looking back. Everything is now. Everything is now. Everything is now. Kerashati kuronotutiata siatuno. Ekara tian. And so it is, and I am complete.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to drive for a little bit here. Very loudly, the Andromedan Council step forward. And if you have a connection to Andromeda, I would love to hear. I am somewhat resonant with them, but they step forward very loudly and they have a message. So if anybody feels like channeling them, it's directly related to what the theme of this call has been the crystalline architecture. We've also been climbing that staircase and playing with our inner child and playing dress up and with these different frequencies of the crystalline architecture. But yeah, they step forward very loudly with a message, asking that come forward consciously as well too. I'm complete for now. If anybody feels like they can channel that, or if you're much more aligned to just continue to play and flow with your inner child and the dress up. I know Aurora's doing twirling. I can see her inner child swirling around in a circle.
Yeah, and I really like Lanny's sunroof. So one has the sun code. It looks like under the ocean. So one it has sun code. Sometimes when there is light under the ocean, it looks exactly like that. And then while you're into the car wash, it first become all golden and then just like a loss of current. And then when you finally come out, there is that yellow duck, and it's just so cute.
I'm getting some information from the Andromedan collective, like I guess, is that like these spirals that are coming in and the dancing and the playing, like um if we go to like spots and that have resonance for us, or we feel the energy there, and we bring in our dress up self and dress up to you want to be and spin and dance with somebody in these little areas together, and that can help bring in a pillar of light, like especially if you have two people or more, you can dance and swirl in these pillars like areas. I was in, they're showing me that when I was in at the Palace of Fine Arts, which is in San Francisco, it has a dome that has, it has a metal, like a copper thing in the middle. And I spun around in there and I created a vortex that I hold as a pillar of light there. And then like 2 minutes after I was done, a couple kids, came in and started dancing in the center there too. And they hadn't seen me spinning around, and they just came in there and they felt it, and they had fun outfits on, and they dressed up, and like they helped anchor that pillar of light, like bringing the fun and the play into these little situations help so much, like because now everybody who enters that place where you played or you were together with somebody and you played, um, and you consciously make that a pillar of light, it amplifies. I'll bring in a little light language to help like solidify that into this reality. They were giving me like um, uh, the drunken style of fighting that like drunken kung fu or whatever. I don't know. But that's what they were making me feel, is like moving with the energies around you, but like having the flow and flexibility in your body to just to flow and flex with it, and let your imagination, excuse me, take with you and your body to the place that you need to go with that. Thank you. Complete.
Okay, I got the message. I do need to go to lots of places, and I need to. I always go to places with people, but I also need to spinning around.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Vincent, and thank you, Aurora. Can't wait to hear where your next adventure is. I'm seeing too, some of us are wanting to, it's shifting a little bit. When I got to the top of this staircase, or what Lenny was sharing What did you call it, Lenny? That was what was most resonant for me. It's like a Rapunzel. What is it, like a tower? I think, or yeah. Put on a turquoise top out of nowhere. Nice. I've been seeing turquoise and teal in the field so much. Now I'm seeing some of us hop onto, and I want you to just play with this imagery if this feels good for you, and if not, just let it go. But some of us are getting on our dragons. It's like we're hopping on our friends, and we're kind of going for a little upward spiral ride through the density or dimensions too. Some people have dragons. Some people have like never-ending story-ish. Maybe you're on turtle speed. Whatever is going to be most resonant for you. But I'm seeing everybody like hop on, and then now we're going on like the next leg of this cool little journey. This little flow actually is what it is. Ninety-niner. Um, Even for me, like my inner child was like, I got onto one of those. Remember when you go to the playground, and we were boys, so we were rough, man. We would get onto those little the horses that you rock back and forth, but we would rock those things like to where you could basically fly off of it, and then I just kind of like let it go, and then just like took off on my little horse, man. But we were tough. We were tough kids on the playground, like a little horsey.
I was getting just a second ago, like the scene in Harry Potter where they get those eggs, but they have to listen to them underwater. And I was like, I think that's something that like um, we we need to experience this like as a group or something. Like I was seeing it as more of like instead of an individual thing, that we were going to open an egg under the water and like hear some kind of vibration that like was going to like start to tie us together somehow. Like um, I don't know. It was fun though.
I want to confirm that, Vincent, that came in last year with the Lightworker Expansion Lab. That was like a thing that a couple of us received as like we need to go take those eggs and with the harmonics underwater, like sing, and then all these like dragons were gonna like come out and be free. So that's just a very specific thing like that has been around for like a year. So I love that. Thank you for witnessing that and sharing that.
Yeah, huge ping there. Like woo, lit me up when you started talking about it too. Thanks.
That's interesting because out of nowhere, I was drinking my tea one time, and then I just started watching How to Train a Dragon. And then there was that scene where he was trying to fix his friend's tail because he couldn't fly. Um, but there were so many things about that, like that scene, and how um, the whole village were we were trying to like fight the dragons when all along it was like like it's about playing with them and finding your dragon within and soaring with them and knowing your own power and knowing your own dragon pretty much. And because when you're underwater, I remember this because it's also been the time that I get the emerald tablet. Is I had a face like a whole face goggles, and so I put my head underwater, and it was so peaceful and quiet that I can hear myself. That was kind of like a metaphor, and I was looking at all this luminescent light coming from the sun codes, and I just remembered, yeah, something like that. Like it gonna um, just reminded me of that, like a when you're playing as a child and just realizing your own power and creating that, and yeah, like kind of riding your dragon, pretty much riding your power, and playing with your friends, and having everybody's personality that are different, but then collaboratively you create something amazing, like a rainbow of play, a rainbow of joy, a rainbow of, even if it's just not laughter, you could get mad at each other, but then the power of love comes out because you know you forgive each other because now you know how to take care of each other better next time and all that stuff. So it's like a lot of, yeah, dragons. That's all I gotta say.
This conversation reminds me a little bit of like I keep on trying to encourage my wife to like do this training that's just outside of Florida in the Bahamas, use like for cranial sacral with dolphins, and you can bring somebody with you. I'm like, I so want to go do that. Like, it sounds so magical because like the dolphins come over and they like help out with the like you end up floating, and then like the person who's doing the cranial sacral like holds you up, but the dolphins come over and like uh, are able like help you come through, and like it sounds super fun. I'm just like I want the funds to go do it. It's super expensive, like anything like that usually is, but I feel like there's so many codes that are just waiting for both of us to come through in that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said dolphins because the dolphins have. I didn't name them earlier. They definitely came in. The galactic shrimp as well. We were listening to whale music when we had first started, so um, just naming that as well too.
No, I feel bad eating shrimp now.
Okay, anybody else have any other messages come through? Any other like anything else they're seeing, feeling that they wanted to share? Welcoming Christina, Janvier, Rachel, everybody else that came in, just saying hello. I think too, it feels pertinent, and it sent my humans laughing a little bit. My child's laughing because I grew up in Florida. But like, I don't know if you guys are following this story about, and if you're still higher dimensional awareness, just kind of continue to play about the man who got captured. I feel like he's a Florida man. He got captured by the dolphins and forced to build underwater architecture by the lead dolphin, whose name is Gerald, who was communicating with him. So I want to just harmonize that frequency because it feels in a way like a way shower frequency. Um, and they actually, like, he went to the hospital. They found the stuff in his lungs. His lungs are fine, but they found like there's actually evidence that is corroborating with him that he's been held underwater for 3 days and basically, and he's highly technically skilled. Like, he has very specific skills that would have assisted him in what he was doing, building these underground, this architecture for the dolphins, basically. Like, so I just want to kind of harmonize that. It definitely feels, the truth is in the field, obviously, but it feels a little bit of a way shower frequency. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if that was like somewhere like East Coast. I don't think it's Florida in particular, but maybe if somebody's super resonant with the dolphins, we could get a definitive answer within this grid. I guess technically I could ask as well too, but I'm complete for now. I'm actually getting not surprised. I'm getting like truth. Obviously, like, some of the news is sensationalized, but I'm getting a yes. So I was like, okay. I'm not sure if his name's Gerald though. I'm getting something different.
I received that it's a yes, but in I don't know the story fully, but they're like, yeah, why would that not be possible? Is like the answer they're giving me.
I'm getting visuals of like dolphins with guns forcing this guy to do this. It's just kind of funny. I don't know why.
Amazing. They're laughing in the field with us. Hee hee hee.
Yeah, definitely mobster vibes. Like lobster mobster vibes.
That's cute. I saw Red Lobster a second ago. Zippy. I kind of feel like they're like almost we're calibrating this like we've been calling it a spiral staircase, I think, because that's how our human brains can understand this frequency of like they're telling me it's a water slide of some kind that they can like transport in the frequency. I don't know, there's something, it's not fully clear what I'm hearing, but it's something about basically we've calibrated the tunnel so that they can kind of come through it and help us calibrate even more. They're really happy that we're playing with that in the field. I heard them say the fairest of them all. Yes, finally, the humans are getting a clue. They're happy.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of joy and play from the inner children that got to play dress up today with our like the adult version of ourselves too. It's like, that's such a cool frequency of like playing with our inner child and then dressing up and then kind of going on this fun little just spending time together and just like we were all in the playground and then we kind of like blasted off. And yeah, there's like this, like what you were sharing about the slide. I was seeing like if you want to give yourself permission and then hop into that slide, and I'm looking at that slide as like kind of spitting you out with some like energy, with some trajectory, and then you land somewhere like, a little bit forward in the future. And we were talking about like quantum leaping was a frequency that we had mentioned earlier, and timeline shifting that Annette had brought in. So
There's a lot of layers to all of this. There's like what wants to be said about it, buddy. It's like pillar of light. It's cosmic pillar of light brings in the mothership. Is what I just heard. So find your own alignment and resonance with that. But the biggest message I'm hearing is thank you for your service to the collective, to all levels of existence, to your inner children and to yourself. Remembering that we and we are one, and love is all there is. Only love. Yeah, I'm complete for now. Thank you. Oh, more sun codes. This sounds not complete, but I am for a minute.
in the new Avatar movie, what is the name of that whale-like Do you remember? Any, we all watched it recently, but what is that? It's like a whale-like creature that they were farming. I'm kind of getting that.
The breed? Are you talking the species or the excommunicated one?
No, not the species itself, like the type of whale. Like what were they called?
I'd have to look it up.
It's a higher dimensional version of what we would perceive as a whale that's coming through to support. The Tukun. Tukun.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, asking that any other messages come through consciously at this time as we're preparing to kind of shift.
So I just want
Go ahead.
just real quick, because I was just guided to grab my oracle card of the from Calgary, Divine Masters, and I just, I just asked who wants to come through, because apparently a lot of them wants to speak. But the one that was really strong was Lady Venus, and it's just light activation, a call to action, power surge, and Earth mission. So kind of really brief description is Venusian energies and advanced cosmic energy similar to the angels. Would call it is the queen of the cosmic rate of life, so it's Venusian. Anyway, so for this one, it says for hundreds and thousands of years, those on earth have prayed for better ways. It's so funny because that's what I felt that with a dolphin. You were born in response to these prayers. You were called to the earth on a mission. Everything you have faced, overcome, and healed from is preparation for leaving a legacy. You are someone who will make great change. Everybody knows this already. So it could be overwhelming, or you're going to feel a lot of expectation and pressure on you, but making small shifts. And I feel like that kind of Vincent touched on that earlier. You're showing those around you that are possible. What is the last word is Lady Venus is here now to give you the surge of power and inspiration to take this work further. So yeah, I'm complete.
Yeah, thank you. Please, if you don't mind, taking a photo and dropping it into our Telegram so that everybody can kind of take a look at that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any other shares? I don't know if anybody's feeling aligned to close this out. I don't know. Annette, did you have anything too? I feel like you got something, Janvier, as well.
I am on the road right now, but feeling you deeply. Thank you so much for all those beautiful stream of consciousness going on and weaving and I'm driving in under the sun, so I'm reading those beautiful codes. And what is beautiful is today I decided that for my last class before leaving for Egypt, with my drama class with the children, I would do like a story, but a story that they would build with me, so they could dress up and play the role that they wanted to. They wanted to dress as whales or dolphins or superhero or dragon. So I felt it was like very relevant for what you were channeling today. So thank you. It gives me like beautiful ideas for the story that probably will start with some dolphins and whales.
I love that. I have windy bird and panda lover in the field with me as you talk about this. Well, if nobody else has other shares, I suppose I can ground us again and begin to wind down. Oh, yeah, a big stretch and some spinal rotations is what I'm feeling, like arms up, stretching, really taking up the space that you are. It says this red queen over here. The rainbow. Weaving and crystallizing with all of those rainbow frequencies, however it feels most aligned for you. Back down through the castle tunnel, spiral staircase, down into the safety of the nest. Together once more and always and forever. For as long as we all shall choose. I'm feeling this in my lower spine, so just kind of wiggling my hips a little bit as I pull up next to the windy bird. Beautiful bird. Oh, yo. Feeling at home in your body. Breathing deeply into all layers of yourself. Allowing all your friends to be at home with you. Sending so much love and gratitude to all of those aspects of ourselves that showed up throughout this journey. All of our allies, helpers, friends, guardians. All of our memories, our reflections, our synchronicities in the field. The golden nest. The golden egg. We've all been journeying together to embody across all dimensions, across all that is. Feeling into the song lines of our heart space. As we radiate this peace within. Breathing deeply into our roots. Honoring deeply our embodiment of our core essence, our purity, our cute little inner children, not so little. Fully harmonized across all that is, with the deepest gratitude beyond measure, beyond words, unquantifiable gratitude, and allowing that to come in at whatever pace feels right at any moment, because you are the moment. And gratitude to everyone here for witnessing one another, for co-creating in this space, and for playing together. I love you so much, and I am excited.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Sending you so much love. Appreciate your time, energy, attention, frequency, vibes, all of the wonderful things that you do, that you are. So happy to see you, and we will see you on Thursday. Have a great rest of your day. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you so much, everyone.